Qin Yu planned to spend 2 years forging two weapons for Ho Fei and Heiyu. With the remaining time, he would refine the second ceremonial gift, constructing a residence capable of encompassing the entire divine realm. This task was even more challenging than crafting a top-grade heavenly divine artifact, as it demanded a perfect fusion of functionality and form. Lying on the grassy field, Qin Yu pondered the design, material selection, and layout of the residence. He was confident that he could resolve all issues within a month. As time passed, Qin Yu's thoughts gradually immersed themselves in the modeling of the mansion, the coordination of materials, and the use of formations all becoming clearer in his mind. Suddenly, Uncle Fu appeared, interrupting his thoughts and informing hil that Shen Wang Duanmuyu was waiting outside the residence. Qin Yu was surprised by Duanmuyu's humility and immediately stood up to welcome him. On the way to the entrance, Qin Yu speculated whether this visit was related to the marriage selection. As he passed through several pavilions and caught sight of Duanmuyu standing with his head bowed, his suspicion deepened. Qin Yu smiled and greeted him, and Duanmuyu responded with a smile of his own. Qin Yu ordered the guards to allow Duanmuyu's attendants to enter as well. He expressed admiration for Duanmuyu's achievements, to which Duanmuyu humbly replied that he had long remained at the peak of the upper heavenly god stage. Qin Yu curiously asked whether becoming a Shen Wang had anything to do with emotions. Duanmuyu explained that the illusory spirit mirror had shown him a dream of an entire lifetime, ultimately enabling him to see through all illusions. He came to understand that all splendor and vanity were inferior to the eternal truth of one's heart. Qin Yu, however, believed that as long as one worked hard, every beautiful moment could become eternal. Duanmuyu then handed the illusory spirit mirror to Qin Yu, saying that he would no longer participate in the marriage selection and hoped Qin Yu could achieve victory. Qin Yu accepted the illusory spirit mirror and promised that he owed Duanmuyu a great favor. Duanmuyu then departed, preparing to go to the Arctic Sacred Hall to inform Zhong Fan of his withdrawal from the competition. When Zhong Yan received the news, he excitedly came to report it to Qin Yu. Qin Yu calmly replied that he had already known and asked Zhong Yan to pass a message to Zhong Lai. He now possessed the illusory spirit mirror and was confident in securing one of the 3 marriage quotas. Zhong Yan understood that with the mirror in hand, Qin Yu had all but secured the second slot. Meanwhile, in Thunder Punishment City, when Xuxian learned that Duanmuyu had withdrawn from the marriage selection, he was overjoyed and relieved. It occurred to him that since Duanmuyu was no longer participating, the illusory spirit mirror he held might no longer be in use. A glimmer of joy flashed in Xuxian's eyes as he immediately ordered his subordinates to prepare for a journey to the southern polar Jingguang city. Xuxian believed that if he could obtain the illusory spirit mirror, the second slot would undoubtedly belong to him. However, he had no idea that Duanmuyu had already given the mirror to Qin Yu, something known only to the two of them. Soon after, Xuxian brought gifts to visit Duanmuyu in Jingguang city. In the city, a newly built residence named Ming Yu Manor marked Duanmuyu's ascension to the Shen Wang realm. The manor had begun recruiting disciples, limited to only 6 spots, making the competition extremely fierce. Outside the manor, 2 heavenly gods whispered to each other, saying that over 10 upper heavenly gods had joined the selection, clearly indicating that all 6 chosen disciples would be of that level. Upon hearing this, murderous intent flickered in Xuxian's eyes. The 2 who followed him were both upper heavenly gods, dispatched by his royal father to serve him, an uncommon privilege in the heavenly god realm. Xuxian secretly swore that one day, all upper heavenly gods would look up to him, begging to become his disciples. With a smile once more on his face, he approached the manor gate and announced to the gatekeeper, "Xuxian from Thunder Punishment City is here, please inform your master." Only half a second later, Xuxian walked out with a gloomy expression. His 2 subordinates inquired in low voices, and he replied coldly, "Back to Thunder Punishment City." Lightning flickered in his eyes. He had realized that the illusory spirit mirror had already been handed to Qin Yu by Duanmuyu, shattering his hopes of competing for the second slot and deepening the frown on his face. At the Sacred Hall of Thunder Punishment City, Xuxian reported to his royal father Chihuo that there was almost no hope of winning the second slot. Although the third slot still held a chance, Qin Yu was not only a grandmother of weapon forging, but also the new master of the Divine Illusion Hall, and the wielder of a Hongmeng spirit treasure, making the competition incredibly intense. Xuxian bluntly stated that in order to marry his cousin, he must obtain the second quota. Chihuo contemplated for a moment before instructing Xuxian to focus on preparing a ceremonial gift for Jufen Pass. Hundreds of heavenly gods had already been sent to the lower realm to gather materials, and the task would be completed within 10 years. As for the second slot, Chihuo said he would find a way to assist him. Xuxian respectfully complied and withdrew. Shortly after, Chihuo departed from Thunder Punishment City. At this point, among the 18 candidates in the marriage selection, Duanmu had withdrawn due to becoming a Shen Wan, leaving 17 still competing fiercely. Experts like Kun Ho and Shen Tiyufan, who had powerful backing, made the competition more brutal than ever. In northern polar floating Snow City, Qin Yu ordered Fu Guo to enter seclusion and reject all visitors for years to come. As for himself, he entered the new universe, beginning a phase of intense preparation. On the Zizhuan star within the new universe, countless refining materials hovered above Qin Yu's head. He closed his eyes, visualizing in his mind the overall model and detailed crafting process of the mansion. Hei Huo Shen and Bai Huo Jing twined together, absorbing 2/3 of the materials. Qin Yu's body suddenly expanded, transforming into a giant 100 zhong tall. In his hand, the Zhuan Jing hammer enlarged like a phantom shadow. He swung the hammer down upon the Qingyan stone, fusing fire and spatial power. The material gradually refined, impurities removed, and the temperature precisely controlled. After more than 3 years, the prototype of the mansion, forged from Qingyan stone, had finally taken shape.